Well, we won the game. That's a positive. Our power play was real good and set us up to win the game. So that was good. And then maybe the bigger positive to go along with the win is that we had a poor third period, which exposed some things in our game and exposed some of our youth. So you come out of it with a lot of teaching points that can help us going forward, and hopefully as soon as tomorrow, but certainly as we get past this weekend and get another good week of practice and build from here, we have some good content to start with.
You mentioned the power play, 4 goals here this afternoon. That was an area that struggled last year. Was there added emphasis at the start of this year to get it going early?
Well, I'm not sure if our power play ever really struggled. I mean, we scored a lot of goals on the power play. We would have always liked to have done better. That said, you want to get started early. When you're playing your first game and it's early in the season, and with this group we had no exhibition games, and really with our Marlies, exhibition games, we didn't have any of these players at all. So they got to see times with the Leafs and whatnot, but when they're with the Leafs, they're not necessarily on the power play, many of these guys. So it's a good start for us today in many senses. This was like an exhibition game for us in terms of feeling things out and working with different guys on different units, line combinations, all of those kind of things. So to come out of a game like this with a win and the success we had on the power play is real good.
With that kind of roster variety in mind, do you think that one tomorrow that you'll have a somewhat different lineup, and two that you have that benefit in back-to-back games so you can use this bigger roster group?
Well, we're going to talk about it. We're not expecting too many lineup changes tomorrow. Haven't talked to the medical people yet, just to see how we're going to come out of today's game in terms of guys that may have gotten banged up. So we'll address it there. In terms of coming into the weekend, we didn't expect to make too many changes after game one if we remained healthy.
Your 4 power play goals came after you took that time out. What would you tell those guys at that point?
Well, you know what? The big thing, we were on the 5-on-3. I think anytime you get a 5-on-3, especially a lengthy one like that, it's a really important time in the hockey game. Even though it's in the first period, you got to score there. So that combined with the fact that frankly, we just hadn't really practiced our 5-on-3 much coming in, and we wanted to make sure the guys were organized, rested. So we talked to them a little bit, and in that particular case, we knew we had to get a little more traffic at the net, and that's what turned out to get us the goal. And then we just got rolling. So I think it was more coincidental than anything. But at this time of the year, when you have a chance to bring him in and talk for a little bit, it's beneficial.
In terms of the roster today, you had 2 veterans, Clune and Like, out of the lineup. What was the reason for that?
Well, we just have a lot of young guys. We're trying to make things work. Cliche obviously is another guy that you put in that category. So we have a lot of options, but we're here to develop our young people as well. We've got a number of older guys. When I say older, I guess it's more experienced guys. Greening, Fraze, that played today, but we value the young people and want to get them involved and get them rolling. But at the same time, we know how important those older guys are going to be for us, so we've asked them to be a little patient with us here early.
Is Garrett Sparks your number 1 goaltender?
I think it's a little early for that. Bebo's going to play tomorrow. Now, much like last year, we're going to start out. These 2 guys are going to get time to play in the net and establish themselves, as they will. So we'll see how that plays out. It's good to see Garrett get a win here today. We fully expect Beebs to be great tomorrow.
Does that mean, I can't pronounce his name, but the Finnish netminder, is he going to be going to Orlando then?
Yeah, we'll see how things play out with that. I know there's some thought around that. I'm not sure if any final decisions have been made. I know Orlando didn't have any games this weekend, so we've had him around all week and working with Piero Krakow and all those things. So we'll make some decisions on that, I'm sure, here in the near future.